Hi everybody, today we're going to learn how to replace a broken screen. I got my screen from Amazon.com, $34.99. Make sure you get the one that comes with the kit. That kit contains the screwdriver that will open your two Penelope screws on the bottom of your iPhone. So we're going to start by removing the screws off of the bottom using the Penelope screwdriver. So once you remove the screws, there's a suction cup that comes in the kit. We're going to use that to pry out the screen. If your screen is very cracked and the suction cup can't grab it, I recommend using some clear packing tape and apply the tape over the screen, and then you can use the suction cup to get some grabbing. So what you're going to do, you put your thumb like this towards the speaker side of the iPhone to apply a little pressure so that you can kind of pry it out like that. Now be careful not to bend the screen because these ribbons are very fragile. So this plate, the plate that is on there holds the ribbons in place. So now you're gonna get a mini Phillips screwdriver that came with the kit and begin removing the plates, screws. Those screws are different sizes, so make sure you remember where they go or lay them out the way you took them out so you can remember where they go. Once the screws are removed, you're going to take the plate out, and then you're going to unsnap the ribbons off of the board. If you break any of these ribbons, you're going to have issues with your phone. There's the broken screen, so that one belongs in the garbage. So since the new screen does not come with the metal backing plate, you have to take that plate off of the old screen and put it on the new screen. And also, the new screen is not going to come with the speaker, the camera, or the proximity sensor. So you'll have to remove that. Carefully remove those. You can use that little plastic tool that came to kind of pry it out of there. You can tell the camera has the proximity sensor attached to it. It's on the same board, on the same circuit. So that proximity sensor goes inside the hole of the rubber. There's a rubber in the back of it. It goes in the hole. So proceed by removing the rest of the screws that are holding the backing plate. There are two screws on each side of the backing plate, and there's also two screws that are attached to the body of the screen. You can remove the home button before or after the backing plate. It doesn't really matter which order you remove it. So you push that out. If you do drop any of those screws, you might have a hard time finding it. So the best thing is to grab a magnet and just drag it across the floor, and hopefully you'll pick it up. I did drop one and I grabbed a magnet, and luckily I found it. Okay, now there's one more screw on the bottom near the home button. Remove that. Well, now that the backing plate is off, now we can put it on the new screen. It's way cheaper to replace a screen than it is to even pay the deductible on your insurance. So now we're going to put back the camera on the new screen. So there's a little hole for the proximity sensor. So make sure you snap that into place before you put the camera back in there. Otherwise, when you use your phone, that proximity sensor, it's not going to work, or it might just, your screen might be completely dark the whole time. If you notice you cover your your earpiece on your iPhone, your screen goes black. That's what it's meant to do. So when you get your phone up to your ears, the screen will go black. If that proximity sensor is not placed correctly, you're going to have problems. So now that the camera is back into place, let's begin by snapping the ribbons onto the main board. You can apply a small amount of pressure to snap those ribbons into place. I have used you can use your fingers or the plastic tool. I usually snap them from top left, middle, and then that last one, the right one. Oh, and I forgot to mention that the backing of those ribbons, it's got an adhesive part that I took off, and I stuck it back together where it was. You'll notice that it has some kind of glue, so I carefully removed it and then snapped it together. So now that ribbons are in place. We're going to put the plate that holds those ribbons. And remember where the screws went. Try not to over tighten the screws. They're very, very, very tiny. So now you do a touch test before you close the phone. Turn it on and then touch something on it just to make sure the digitizer works before you actually close the phone, because you don't want to close the phone and then find out that the digitizer doesn't work. So that's what I just did. I just did a digitizer test. So now we're just going to close the phone, put the screws back into place. The phone seems like it's working, so let's put these little screws back in there. Don't over tighten those screws, because you never know, if you break your screen again, then you might have a hard time opening it up. So now I turned it on. Home button works. Everything, all touchscreen settings, all the features work really good. Test the camera too. Make sure the front-facing camera is working properly. You can tell that that works. I also did a speaker test since I took that apart, and it works. So there it is. Phone is all fixed and back in working order. Just as good as new for a fraction of the cost. Look how fragile those screens are. Well, thanks for watching.